I decided to hop onto one of my other backup Instagram accounts and record this just to kind of do, a race recap. I'm gonna get like all emotional as I'm doing this because I've kind of been delaying it, because every single time I try and like think about recording and just kind of talking about the whole race day experience, I get very choked up. So I'm probably gonna cry during this, but so here we go. So I am one day away from the race. At this time tomorrow, it's going to be like 5:14. I'm hoping to be crossing into Manhattan, maybe even somewhere through Manhattan near Central Park. But it's going to be a very long race day ahead, and I've just been trying to like reflect back on how I ended up here, and it's kind of crazy. So the way that this whole journey started, aside from the whole running thing, I had set a goal for myself, and it was just to like, it was March 2019. I just wanted to do a marathon, just one and done. Found Little Rock, went out there, and about like mile 3 on the course, I met this girl from New Jersey, and she said to me like that she had run the New York City Marathon, and I was confused because I was in the back of the pack, she was in the back of the pack. Little Rock actually lets you go out early if you're going to be finishing late, and it's like, well, how do you get into New York if you're not like, a fast runner? And she told me about this 9+1 program where if you do 9 races with New York Roadrunner and then also do 1 volunteer opportunity, you get to run the race. And how even more important it was because 2020 was going to be the 50th anniversary year. So I came back from that trip and decided I was going to add New York onto the plate as well. And so I hopped out and like just busted my ass to get through 9 different races, and it involved everything from like a 5K up to a half marathon within about a 6-month window, all in Manhattan. I know my last race was really down to the wire. I had a race set up and it was going to be a 10K in December, right after I flew home from Los Angeles, and it would have been cutting it very close, but it was the last one I got on the calendar. As fate would have it, I was able to get a charity bib into a race in November, and I had like 10 friends chip in to fundraise money, and we were able to help out a great cause and get me my final race. My volunteer opportunity just also kind of fell into my lap, where QDR was doing an event, a 5 mile and 10 mile race not too far away from me, and they still had openings. I was able to go there, be a bag watcher, and then also helped with their finish line, which was such a cool experience as well. So that's how I got my journey into New York. And then, as everyone knows, it was going to be November 1st, 2020, at my last race. When you do 9+1, they actually have this big like podium thing that you can go up on when you finish your last race, and you ring the bell. And so I did that, and I knew it was on there November 1st, 2020, and then the race got shut down. I was planning to love New York 2020 so much that I had set up a plan. Here's 9 races and a volunteer opportunity to get me entry into 2021, which meant I would have been running tomorrow no matter what. But as the world kind of had it, the first race, and that was the New York City half, which got canceled because that was March 2020. And my first volunteer opportunity as well was about a week after that, which got canceled. And New York Roadrunner at the time didn't know if they were going to offer credit for it, even though it was canceled. And so it just seemed like that dream was out the window. They officially canceled the 2020 marathon, and I know when November 1st came and went, it's like this was supposed to be my day, and it wasn't. And now I'm getting all upset just remembering just how hard that was. And then so fast forward, I was able to pick, do I want to defer to 2021? Do I want to push it out to 2022, 2023 and not know what year it's going to be? I put down for 2021. And officially I'm doing the 50th anniversary run. It's going to be a very different race than it's been for a really long time. Normally the race has 50,000 people. This race is going to be down to about 30,000 something. The borders open internationally on Monday, which meant that a lot of international runners weren't able to make it. So it's going to be a much smaller size. They're spreading out the course, and I'm going out noon, which is the latest start that they've ever had. And I will actually be one of the last starters for the race because I'm also in the last wave, in the last corral. But the good news is I did get onto the orange side of the race. So for anyone that has run it before, I'm going to be on the top, on the left-hand side, the best view of the city. Don't have to worry about people peeing on you, which is what everyone said happens on the bottom levels. So I think it's going to be a really good start. I know for me, the toughest part right now is just kind of visioning the whole race course. Like, I'm not prepared. I am not trained. And there's been many times up until this point that I said, I'm just going to defer because I want to enjoy it. But then I'm also like, you know what? What's the worst case scenario that I do fundraise, you know, $2,600, do another year if I really suck at it? So, and just knowing how miserable I was last November when like that day came and went, I knew if the race was going on and I wasn't there, I was going to be a mess. And I'm already a mess. So you know, I'm going ahead, going tomorrow, got my bib, got all my race stuff over there. It's crazy to think it's really happening. And I know I'm not prepared. And I know for me, like, the toughest part is that, so again, I'm going to get emotional. My dad and I had made these plans that he was going to meet me at mile 8 and he was going to bring my mom, and they're not going to be there. And that's been like the hardest thing about this whole journey is I kind of had everything so pictured out, and it's not how it's going to be, but I'm still going to be there. I'm still going to do this. I'm determined to finish. I spoke with the people at the Abbott 6-star table, and they said as long as I get to the finish line, I get credit for the race. So that will give me 2 stars. I've got my Chicago Marathon entry, which I'm also holding on to. That will put me halfway to my 6-star journey. So I'm going out there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make my dad proud, even if he's not going to be here. This race meant so much to me and so many people, and it's going on. It's going to happen, and I'm not going to be ready, but I'm going to show up. I'm going to do what I can because that's all I can do, which, you know, it's been one of those years for everyone. It's been one of those, like, past almost 2 years at this point of just really lousy times, and I'm going to show up. I'm going to get it done. It's going to be ugly. I'm going to be finishing in the dark. I've got a goal for, like, you know, let's get it done in 6.5 hours, but I also have a pace-based bracelet for 7 hours, 7.5 hours, 8 hours. I know that they've got volunteers there till 8 o'clock, and then they start a late finishers celebration. So I'm like, no matter what time I do make it to Central Park, it's going to be in the dark, but it's going to be an amazing experience. And I'm going to look back, and I'm going to be so proud that I did it. But at this point, just, you know, overcome with emotions. But I wanted to hop on, just kind of explain how I got to this point, why I'm still showing up, why I'm such a mess. I haven't gone a day without crying, and at least since February, and probably before that as well. But tomorrow's the big day. It's happening. I'm going to be there. Keep an eye out for me. Feel free to track me on the app. It's going to take a really, really, really long time for me to come in. But I'm going to do this, and it's after this big journey, it's happening. So I just want to thank you all for, you know, your support. And I know I've sucked at, like, writing back to people, and, like, it's so emotionally draining thinking about this whole entire process. And it's 2.5 years of vision coming to light, and it's going to be a reality tomorrow. So I'm just very excited, overwhelmed. I wanted to hop on, just kind of, you know, give a little bit of a summary of everything that's been going on and how I got here. And I promise I'll do a better job of, like, following up with everyone as well. But just thank you all for the support. Thank you, New York Roadrunners, for figuring out a way to make this event happen. A special shout out to any of the Facebook friends that I've made through this journey, in particular Runners Runners. I know I would not feel half so much comfortable doing this race without knowing I've got, you know, my Runners Runner button on there. I've got support built in all along the course. It's gonna be a good day. And then I promise when I do Chicago's marathon, which who knows, maybe that will be in about a year from now, that I won't be as much of a mess. But thank you guys all so much. Like I said, feel free to track me if you want. This is my number. That's my story. And I'll do a more, like, live on one of my like real platforms sometime after the race, maybe Monday or early next week as well. But I'll be definitely posting in my stories all of this and filming a ton of content. I'm going to turn this into a really happy experience. I promise I'm not going to be a blubbering mess the whole time, but right now it's all just a lot, but it's good. So I will see you guys on the other side with my medal. So have a great evening, and I'll definitely be sure to give some updates along the way. Bye.